Hey, you there. Thank you for watching and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 6v6 custom match here on the map Adaptive Millennium. This was given to me by one of you, so shout out to that person. Their name is down in the description. And again, if you have a replay that you want to send it to me at strategiclaunchreplays@gmail.com. The Gmail is also down in the description. We'll introduce Team 1 starting off on the northern side, and then we'll end with Team 2 on the southern side. Starting off with Team 1, let's go eastern side. First, we have in Barbie Pink. It is naturally a Spirit. He is a Seraphim for this match as an 1100. To his west in Gold in the Dark Green, it is Off Kilter. He's playing as a Siren for this match as a 1400. In Royal Blue to his west, we have Silent Bug. He's playing as an Aeon. He is a 2000 rated player. He's the highest rated player on Team 1 and in the game overall by roughly over 500 points of rating. So a very, very valuable target for Team 2 to eliminate and for Team 1 to protect. To his west, we have in Chevy Crimson, maybe a fan of Star Wars. It is Empire Day. He is a 1200 playing as a Seraphim. Up here on the upper plateau, we have Mouse Mayhem. He is an Aeon for this match in Light Octane. He is a 1500. And on the very far forward front line, we have Mighty Bear. He is a Seraphim in Lightish Red Pink as a 900. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 0 UEF. They have 1 Cybran, 2 Aeon, and 3 Seraphim. So again, only missing out on that UEF tech. Starting with Team 2's most frontline player in the East, we have in Rust. It is a UEF. It is Adu. I'm not going to pronounce that first half of his name. It is Adu. He is a UEF. He is a 1200 in the upper plateau position. We have in Amethyst Purple. It is a Boom King. He's playing as a UEF as well. He is a 1500. He's tied for the highest rated player on his team. To his west in Batman Gray, it is the Aeon of Le Liberator. If I try saying that 10 times fast. He is a 1300 again, playing as an Aeon. To his west, already pretty much in the middle of the map, we have in Forest Green is Noble Bang. He is a 1500 playing as a UEF. He's tied for the highest rated player on his team with Boom King. So we have Boom King and Noble Bang. Lots of explosive names here in this game. I will know the first com action probably started between Mighty Bear and the player to be introduced. I'll introduce him in a minute. To his west, we have in Tropical Ocean Blue, it is Ogle. He is a Seraphim for this match as a 1300. And the player with which he has traded blows with Team 1's Mighty Bear, it is Butthurt. He is a UEF. He is a 1400 in Regal Purple. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have mostly a UEF team at 4 with 0 Cybran, 1 Aeon, and 1 Seraphim, which means all the factions are represented on or in the game, but just not on each team. Team 1 lacks the UEF, Team 2 lacks the Cybran. And for these 12 players on the map, let's take a look at their reclaim situation. Currently sitting at 170,000 mass in reclaim, and it is the everywhere around the map. See lots of clumpage of reclaim near the main bases, as well as a decent amount in the middle, which does explain why Noble Bang is there right now. So lots and lots of reclaim to scoop up. The math works out to be, I think, it's about 12, trying to do math in my head, it's 13,000 mass, 14,000 mass per player. It's not 18,000, so it's 13 to 1,400. Sorry, 1,000 mass, not 100,000 mass per player. We do see that off kilter moving into the middle of the map. So taking a look, of course, there's not a lot of mexes on the map, which does explain all of the reclaim. But there are, a decent amount of mexes in the main bases. We have, at least a quad mex here with each player to grab, as well as a couple of mexes, let's say, for Boom King to grab. And then we have other just dotted around the mexes around the map. Couple of mexes in the middle, but typically on this map, especially, the middle is kind of just no man's land. So we'll see if anything really gets built up there. I highly doubt it, but this game is, I will know, over an hour. So lots of explosive time for players to, try to blow each other up. I will know, of course, that it's a 10 by 10 map. It is a not very, very small map. It's not a 5v5. That'd be insane for a 12-player game. So players able to just traverse the map pretty quickly, which is why we saw Convicom action even before I was done with my introductions. So it's going to be a lot of, if you push a little bit too far forward, you might die. So I would not be surprised if the caster myself misses a kill. So just be aware of that. We do see Noblebank coming in to assist the Liberators retreat. And a couple of course, veterancy. Not started for Noblebank, but looks like Liberator getting a little bit of veterancy there. Team 2's Ogle going for a gun speed and range on that little hilly section with a little bit of recon below it. To the west, we do see Team 2's Butthurt using the pawn to his advantage to be able to hide. We do see he's actually finished a gun upgrade and starting to push against Mighty Bear. I will note Team 1 also has a T2 upgrade for Mighty Bear. On board that, upgrade some more defense and more versatility versus more offense for Team 2. And of course, the front line, especially the western and eastern sides, definitely kind of get squeezed out sooner rather than later. So not necessarily the players will die the first or second, but their positions usually get ran over just because they are kind of, again, isolated for the remainder of their team. And granted, Team 1's northwest and southeastern players are literally isolated on a different plane, but you know, they're pretty relatively safe unless somebody had a transport and came to say hi, or teleporter, who knows. Butthurt still just laying into Mighty Bear's commander. We do see Mighty Bear building a T2 PD trying to get some sort of defense online, but I don't think that's really gonna work. Overcharge probably would have been better off to go into the comm, but he probably might have it on auto, so just didn't fire into the commander. We do see gun range started for Silent Bug, gun range started for the Liberator in the middle. Nano repair started for, and naturally he has gun already on board. We do see T2 started for Adu in the east. And Mighty Bear dropping below 2,500. Not looking good for him. He needs to get out of range of that commander. Oh, he could have maybe just taken the damage and gone for him, but they could have put him in a murder-suicide situation. We do see reinforcements outbound from Empire Day. This will help a little bit, but it wouldn't have been enough to kill off the commander, at least immediately, so I feel like that's maybe a missed opportunity, but of course, every kill on one team does give that player's remaining stuff to somebody else, so there is this hesitancy of not going for a kill immediately, because, let's say a higher rated player gets it, for example, and they just have more experience as an example, and they can just, scale their ego. It's just there's a large kind of can of worms that kind of get opened when kills happen pretty early in the game. We do see a gun upgrade started for Noblebank in the middle, and speed now started for Silent Bug also in the middle. Actually, he's in the exact middle of the map. Team 2's Noblebank is just in the middle of the map vertically, not necessarily horizontally. Eastern side gun upgrade for Team 2? No, just T2 PD, trying to, again, establish some sort of defensive, because Team 1 is going to start pushing along that vector. Same thing we saw on the western side, and we continue to side on that western side with a lot of mass being given over to Noblebank to finish the gun upgrade to assist the middle of the map. It looks like Team 2 trying to push Empire Day out of there. Silent Bug doing what he can with his speed/range upgrade. The Liberator just has a range upgrade, so not able to fire as fast, but able to fire at the same range. Of course, the upper plateau players from Team 1 and Team 2 are just going to sit there and eco. They're the air players for both teams, at least one of them, the main ones. So they're going to be rushing for T3 as fast as possible. Speaking of which, 25% done for Team 1, and not yet for Team 2 has started it, so a little bit behind for Team 2. We'll see if that means first bomber from Team 1. We do see in the middle of the map still shots being traded by the two commanders. They're just not stopping. We have 3 of them for Team 1. Guns started for Empire Day. He's also started a naval facility, upgrading the T2 immediately, which means cruiser missile tech for Empire Day here shortly. Facility on the front line for Butthurt, probably for engineers to assist with maybe repairing the comm, maybe going for a nano upgrade. He is up now to 2-star vet, so 20% additional hit points with a little bit of extra regen. Gun upgrade started on the eastern side for Adu, and restoration field started for Ogle in the middle. We do see that T2PD is in range of naturally a Spirit's commander. Naturally, he's like, okay, I'm just going to go high in the water now. Can't say bye. He does have the nano upgrade on board that Seraphim commander, so 70 hit points a second regen on board. The bomber does drop a payload, but I don't think it was AoE enough to be able to strike the commander in any meaningful way. We do see Noblebank, again, continuing to just try to hold the line. Silent Bug now receiving some firepower from Ogle's now gun upgrade and restoration field. Did he go for... No, he didn't go for rapid. Which, again, I wish they would make that a little bit easier to see, but No, I guess that won't change anytime soon. Nano Repair here for Empire Day. Nano Repair is started for Butthurt. That's what he's doing with the extra facility on the front line. T3 started for ACU on the eastern side. Maybe early Billy Nuke, maybe just Ravagers just to push that eastern front just a little bit more. Missile inbound from Team 1. Again, it is a 10 by 10 map, so very small map. And we already see 2 mexes have been eliminated. T2PD going to be built. And then another one is now down. That is unfortunate. We do see, of course, the upper plateau up here for Team 2's. Boom King probably would benefit from some TMD, but we'll see if he ends up sending some engineers up there or not. Nano Repair almost done on board Butthurt. We do see Nano Repair almost on board here for Empire Day. And Salmonbug has fallen back a little bit. He's getting a lot of the T2 mobile shielding online to protect his commander and his more tinfoil Aurora. We also see some Rhinos now mixed in from off kilter to assist with more tankier efforts. We do see Mongoose just railing into that commander. Of course, some parashields protecting them for a little while longer, but their shields are now out, or at least the shields next to them are out. Ooh, looks like that overcharge did hit, but the shot missed is what it looked like. And Silent Bug still retreating underneath to shield coverage. Team 1 pushing back Butthurt a little bit. We do see Mighty Bear only going for T2 Engineering Suite. No Nano yet, but he is pushing back Butthurt a little bit with the extra range, of course, facing off against the Nano and Gun Commander. It is 2 players in the middle for Team 1 and Team 2. We do see that the Liberator has fallen back a little bit. He's gone for T2. He switched up from his range to T2. And these players not giving up anytime soon from either side. Team 1 pushing back a little bit more. Noble Bang does have a lot of those Mongoose online. And eastern side, naturally a Spirit pushing into the T2 PD emplacement for ACU. He did finish the T3 Engineering Suite, so he has an additional 1,000 hit points on top of the 2,000 that I initially got from the T2 upgrade, for a total of 3,000 total. So hey, the math numbers make sense. But Ogle being surrounded by Team 1 and Team 2's forces a little bit makes it hard to kind of retreat there. He's falling below 2,500. I don't think he's going to get out of there. Team 2 will suffer the first loss of the game. And there he goes. We do see AoEs happening for everybody. We see Empire Day and Silent Bug, and we see Noble Bang receiving some damage from the explosion. I don't think it was the full 20. It could have been the full 2,500, but that is the first player eliminated of the game, which means it is a 5v6 in favor of the northern team for Team 1 at 12 minutes. I think on the dot, or pretty darn close to it. And Team 2's Noble continue to push back. A lot of the Aurora were eliminated, of course, so a lot of that forward momentum has kind of died. But they killed off a player, so I think they'll take that trade. And T2 Naval Headquarters is online. Probably cruisers here momentarily. Speaking of which, it's online, immediately deploys missiles, and that's a nice little position up here. Might be the target of opportunity. Team 1 eastern side, we do see Team 2's but for ACU pushing into naturally a Spirit's position. And again, it's Gun Nano versus Gun and T3, so not a lot of regen, but just base hit points. T1 PD being built very, very quickly, of course, going to try to rip apart those hit points on board, or anything nearby for that matter, and really drive naturally a Spirit back. We do see some Aurora using the water to the air advantage, getting it around the land annoyances that they might feel. Team 1 PD not finished, which is unfortunate, and being reclaimed, so that's interesting to say the least. And we have some hover tech units inbound to the eastern side to help assist with that pressure from Team 2's ACUs. So western side looks like it's kind of dulled down in activity. Team 1 won a kill in the middle, and then Team 2 is now falling back. So Team 1, for all accounts, doing pretty well with either pushing back or holding the line. In terms of eco, we see Team 1 is in the lead as well. I'd say about 75 mass in Team 1's favor, which split it between 6 players is, 12, 13 mass a second. So it's not a whole lot, but, it's something. It's better than nothing. T3 Air is online, spamming up air facilities as we speak. T2 land, T3 land is online for off kilter, and no T2 anything for eastern player of naturally a Spirit. No idea what he's up to. It looks like it's just spam, but we'll see what he's going to invest in. Maybe he'll just go straight for T3 and skip T2, but I feel like T2 Seraphim, you want the Ilshis and you want the flak cannons. They don't get shielding, so that might be a somewhat of a reason to skip straight to T3, but I mean, it's always nice to have Ilshis running around the map. It just is. Western side, T2 land, T3 land, also online for Ogle's, no, yeah, Ogle's original position. So we have 2 T3 land, headquarters is for Noble, and then T3 land, and then T3 air. A little bit behind for Team 2 in the T3 air department, but not terribly behind. Again, lots of game to still play. We have over 50, it's about 50 minutes left. So lots of time for players to have some fun with some of the maybe toys in their arsenal. We do see gun splash. Speaking of a toy, coming online for Team 1's. Naturally, that is a calm killer is what that is. Not as fast as the laser, of course, on board the Cyberin comms, but it does a lot of damage. So players have to be aware of that. Team 2's Ado is at 18,000 hit points. So he has a couple of veterans in. It does help the numbers. We do see some Ravagers being built, which will kind of give him a little bit more buffer. But we do see Team 1 ignoring the land and immediately going westward to use, the hover tech as their advantage. But we do see, again, the PD can still target stuff that's floating on the water. So not entirely great, but there is a little bit of a hill to this. So nothing too great. We do see units inbound to intercept, though. And now we see Percy's. Are they going to go in the water? Oh, please tell me they go in the water. That'd be a nice little sneak attack, but we'll see if he ends up doing it. The splash upgrade is now done. So it's gun, nano, and splash on board. Team 1's naturally a spread. Wall sections being built. Team 1, oh, I thought those were PD being built, but no, there's another section of walls going to be built. They're layering their wall sections to create some depth, to create a little bit of air buffer between the two. And also assist GC since they have monkey. Question mark? Did we already... Monkey? Oh, because of Cyber Tech. Okay, that's what they're talking about. I was going to say, what do they already have Monkey? 16 minutes on the clock? That'd be impressive. I don't see anything of the sort yet. I'm assuming somebody's going to start something soon. Oh, we do see a Euthotha started for Team 2's Noble. That's a pretty early experimental. Even with a double base, it's pretty early. He is sitting at 300 mass a second, to be fair. So there is that to consider. Ravager again slowly picking apart the front line. And it's crazy the range on these things. When you consider, again, this is a 10x10. Look at it. Like, they can barely reach. They took out this T1 PD emplacement. I think they're barely out of range for that other one. But it's very nice to have just a huge chunk of that eastern side just defended at all times. We do see those cruisers annoying Team 2, but it's not too bad. They did take out a mechs here. This T2 radar system not dead yet, but probably will remedy that here shortly. And Team 1's Western player of Mighty Bear building some defensive forces over there. Again, the Western and Eastern players, the frontline ones, they get overwhelmed just because that's just the nature of this map. Not a great position to be in, but they do get some assistance sometimes from maybe some air units, hovering over, or some transports dropping something off. We do see a monkey. It's moving this way, and I have an idea of who it's going after. It's a nice, easy way for Team 1 to just eliminate an entire base and then move on to somebody else. Just because it is literally just you're in a corner. It's just not a fun environment to play in when you're those players. But some players stick it through the entire game. It just depends on a whole lot of factors, of course. The monkey going back out of the water. No idea what he's doing with that, but we'll see what Off Kilter's doing with it here shortly. That's the first experimental done at, I'd say 17 minutes, I think. Chicken almost in the green, so that should be finished before 19 minutes. And it's really just having a hard time deciding if it wants to be in the water, if it doesn't want to be in the water. It doesn't like swimming. It does like swimming. Just kind of having a hard time deciding. We do see Team 2 probably sees this. They definitely can see it. Do they actually see it? See it is the different thing. We do see Titans and Percy's immediately just sitting on the water's edge. And we do see, look at the lasers, like, I want to shoot it. I want to shoot it, but it just can't. It can't. Are they trying to ground fire the thing? Oh, yep. They're going to cause the monkey to go away. So a little bit of some, not browbeating, just kind of some posturing, being like, you can't come at us kind of thing. And we do see the monkeys now being driven this way. Not great for Team 2 over here, but we do see some Ilshis and other units from Noble inbound. Actually, some Percy's mixed in as well. They need to go that away. We do see some pinging from Team 2, I would presume. saying, hey, watch out for that. And we do see cruiser missile tech still being deployed by Team 1. Looks like maybe some T2 artillery being mixed in. Yep, that's what's going on. And lots of TMD being built and counter missiles coming online for Butthurt, going after, I would presume, that destroyer who's trying to go after that emplacement there. We also see some T3 spearheads as well, just trying to spam up as many missiles as they can. And here comes the Monkey Lord from Team 1's off kilter, going to wipe out a couple of these Percy's. These ones from Team 2's Noble went far eastward, and that's not going to work out for him. But the Monkey will survive. It will take out some Percy's on the way out. It does get some veterancy, so there is that, but it's already pretty close into the red, so probably not as valuable as he really wants it to be. But it did kill off some Percy, so, you know, it's something. And it's still alive, so there's also that to consider, but not as much damage as he probably would have liked. I do like how the engineers are now just trapped in that wall section that they built. They can't get out now. Team 1's Empire Dice sending a force after that artillery base that's trying to defend against, of course, the cruisers. But now the chicken's inbound from the same player who owns that base in Team 2's Boom King, and he's coming in with a... Ooh! The artillery's down, but hey, at least the shield's online, so there's that. Might as well send the chicken to go after this and just be done with it. Yes, it would take some damage, but it would at least maybe eliminate that annoying force from Team 1. And maybe not annoying force in Team 1's mind. Of course, we do see naturally a Spirit pops out and goes after the Ravagers. Looks how fast he eliminates those things. Just, you know, a handful of shots wipes out an entire T3 Ravager. Lots of Giants are raining on the Commander, though. He is up to Advanced Nano, so tons more hit points for him. 244 hit points a second. And he's sitting at 50,000. He's on 5-star event. As much HP as he's going to get. 250 mass per second. Hit points per second. Could you imagine, though, having 250 mass a second on a comm? Just, that'd be insane. And we do see Ado just trying to spam up something. That splash really just ripping apart those Team 1 PD he laid right there. And he's going to have to retreat because he probably notices the gun on board, but so many shots inbound, some Titans and Percy's mixing in. Naturally, he's just taking beating after beating after beating. And all he has to do is dip in the pond for a couple of seconds. He already has 1,000 hit points left. He waits, you know, a couple more seconds. He has another 1,000, and it just scales so quickly. Look at that. He's just regenerating so fast. He's also sending some forces this way as a nice little distraction, so his main focus is going to be this way. But he's like, hey, Team 2, you should focus on what's going on over here and maybe ignore what I'm doing over here, over at Otto on the eastern side. Team 1, western front, nothing really happening. We do see, it looks like Team 3 mobile artillery wiping out some wall sections for possibly a land invasion here shortly. But sniper bots on the front line. Monkey Lord heavily... Is that the same one? That is the same one, heavily damaged. Yep, that seems about right. Chicken is going to engage. Chicken not firing on the Monkey Lord initially. Probably not the best idea. Probably wants to eliminate that sooner rather than later. Yep, sees it and goes, that's probably a better idea. Bricks inbound. Nice little wall section of bricks. Lots of asylums. I might want to come up with a name for a group of just shielding, because that is a decent chunk of shielding there. It's coming up with different names for essentially the same, not type of unit, but, you know, like a group of strats or a group of mobile shielding or a group of, you know, that kind of thing. Probably would be better than a group of asylums and a group of parashields and a group of whatever the T3 Seraphim one is, because I can never pronounce half the stuff that the Seraphim name stuff. But naturally, Spirit, again, still in the yellow, still kicking, and still in the yellow for him is 20,000 hit points. So you really have to just blitz Seraphim commanders down pretty quickly, or they just will not die. Why PD creep like that, says naturally. He's talking in all chat. But again, the problem is that they're shooting down, so they're shooting into the hill, and it's just not a good place to put them. You want to put them not on the necessarily the edge, but just closer to the edge so they can shoot downward. And yeah, not great placement there, but it's just the way that the map is laid out. So it's kind of an unfortunate side effect of, well, the map. 23 minutes on the clock. Team 1 at 1.3, Team 2 1.4, 1.3-ish. So a little bit in favor for Team 2, but not by much. And we still have those cruiser missiles raining in from Team 1. Looks like Team 2 is defending them quite nicely. Looks like got some volcano tech to be able to help out, some assisting TMD. They can deal with multiple missiles at the same time. So it makes them a valuable asset when your opponent is spamming missiles at you. Did that? Okay, that chicken died and that monkey died. And now a GC's in the mix. And there's a lot of... Look at all those asylums. Just shielding everything for Team 1. It's like a shield grid, essentially. And now we have a host of Harbingers inbound, and some of those get landed on top of by that Monkey Lord. Team 2, the GC getting decent amount of veterancy from this, but unfortunately all of the firepower for pretty much Team 1 has been eliminated. We have some Zooey inbound and a couple of bricks inbound from off-kilter, but the main force of units is dead. Those Percys and the GC just ripped that thing apart. There's PD taking some shots at those Percys, but they're inbound shortly, and I don't think they'll last much longer. And Team 2 is naturally spread now, climbing that hill, still dealing with all of these PD. We have Bombers inbound. He's back up to about 50% hit points. Again, he just comes in, he shoots a couple of shots, goes back in the water, regens a little bit, comes back out, shoots some shots, goes back in the water, and it's just a slow erosion of Team 2. We have some gunships inbound from Team 1's air player of Mouse Mayhem. And again, not known for their air-to-ground weaponry, but again, it's better than nothing. And western side, a little bit of action maybe. Team 2's Butthurt at gun, shield, and nano. Looks like maybe wall section. There's a couple of Rambos starting to appear, looks like. Looks like he's collecting a couple of wrecks. But again, those Rambos have a decent amount of shielding on board, 26,000 plus the additional 16,000 hull plating hit points for a total of 42. And we do see the GC has spotted the comm of Silent Bug, and looks like Silent Bug might actually get killed off by the comm. He's at the heavy shield upgrade, so he's actually going to be fine, to be honest. If he was at the base shielding, maybe I'd be concerned, but there's a lot more firepower inbound. And first airfight of the match happens. Looks like it does favor Team 1 for the numbers. GC firmly in Team 1's territory, but we still have Percys to contend with, or Team 1 still has Percys to contend with. And I don't know if that'll be enough to kill off the comm. Again, all of the hill plating plus the shielding plating, shielding capacity, shielding charge, thingamajig. It's going to help him survive, but we have more Percys inbound. Silent Bug does lose this shielding. He's down to... in the yellow. Team 2 really wants him dead, and the numbers are falling. Silent Bug had a couple more shots before he's dead. Looks like he's eliminated the maybe last of the Percys, at least nearby. The Asylum's really going to keep him alive here, and I think he actually might get out of here, get some veterancy. He's up to 5-star vet now, and a couple more shots and he would have been dead. That was almost dead here for Team 1. It would have been a tied game, but nope, not as of yet. Has anybody died yet? Nope. I probably would have heard the explosion given the size of the map, so that's always good to know that I didn't miss anything. Again, I will miss stuff. It's just the nature of the game and the whatnot, but trying to not miss as many kills as possible. T2 Air Online looks like he's going for Storks to maybe drive naturally spread out of the water. He's back up in the green, almost full hit points, and by the time he walks over into range of the PD, he'll be at full HP. At this point, Team 2 probably just needs to divert a chicken or a GC over here just to deal with him, because he's essentially an experimental all on his own with the hull plating on, the total hull plating on board, or the hit points. Oh, well, that's a thing. Team 2 going for nukes and building some mass fabs next to them. I mean, it is shielded, so I guess there's that. I will give him that. It's already shielded. Whether or not the shield was there before or after he built it, it's there when I noticed it. So, it's there at least. Team 1 getting some shielding online for their air grid. And I would assume my nuke is inbound for that position, but there is an SMD there, so maybe not. Eastern side, we do see the comm of naturally spread has been pinged once again. And it's not looking good for Team 2 on the eastern frontier. Ooh, a Billy Nuke's going to wipe out about 10,000 hit points from the comm. And he puts it right behind him, which will help out a decent chunk. Percys are inbound. Looks like a nice little, pull back and then push in after the Billy Nuke lands. He will make it into the water again. He is aware of the Billy Nuke now, so it's not going to probably work on him a second time. We do see Soundbug already back on the front line. His shielding is not regened fully, which means he can't use it until it is fully regened. definitely in a risk here, but he wants to help out as much as he can. Overcharge does wipe out a chunk of hit points, and it looks like that chicken just gonna die to a crab. And Naturally Spit is killed off by Otto. I thought he was walking into the water, but I guess he was, but I guess he didn't walk fast enough. And remember that conversation about me missing stuff. Team 1 loses their first player of the game. It's now a 5v5 tied-up game, and now this chicken's being just annihilated by some Percies. And Team 1's not Naturally Spit, but Silent Blood gets killed up by these the chickens. Ion Storm, as I'm talking about it, the little message distracted me, so or not distracted me, but it was blocking the view. I didn't think he would walk into it, but maybe he didn't have a choice, or maybe he just forgot about it. I don't know, but that's another kill for Team 2, so it goes from a 6v5 to a 4v5. Now in favor for Team 2 for the first time in the game. T2 Naval Headquarters is down. Did I get zapped? Yeah, that is what happened. Yeah, it looks like he didn't notice. That is unfortunate for Silent. Oh, nice. I mean, it does happen, but it doesn't happen that much. We do see T3 SACUs on the front line again. The shielding proving to be annoying for Team 1, but they are starting to rip through at least a couple of them. And I got Billied, not calm, under attack. What? Oh, interesting. It didn't tell him that his calm was under attack from the laser, it looks like. And SACU is down. Nuke is inbound for Mighty Bear's position. He knows that he doesn't have an SMD, and he knows it's inbound because everywhere else already has an SMD, at least the bare minimum somewhere. Oh, he must have been under the water or gotten under the water and got Billy Nuke. That's probably what it was. Well, that'll be two person very quickly. Boom, there goes the main core of Mighty Bear's base. He'll be able to rebuild, but he'll be kind of out of commission for a while. Need TMD, says Naturally a Spread. Fat Boy says Team 1's Mighty Bear. We do see Autumn's in the base for Team 2's Noble Bank, so he probably might lose his Seraphim technology here. That would be unfortunate. Is some bombers inbound. Fat Boy trying to help out as much as he can. T3 land headquarters not looking great. That would probably be the mexes and the headquarters would probably be the best target. And trying to just keep this thing online, but I don't think he will. Most of the mexes have now lost their HP, and yep, there's the T3 land headquarters. Team 2, unless they have some engineers stacked away, they have lost Seraphim technology, which is unfortunate, but it does happen from time to time. Granted, if this was a share until death game, then they would have lost it anyways, but that's not necessarily true. They could take an engineer that either, that was gifted over to them, build their own facility, and then when the player who had the engineer initially dies, the facility would stay there because the unit was transferred over to somebody else, and then they built it instead of that player who died built it. A decent amount of T3 mobile artillery here. So Zathanas, I think is how you say it. And just slowly pushing in. It is definitely ripe for a, nuke, not a nuke, but a strat bomber or two, or a Billy Nuke or something. And I will point out the range on the Billy Nuke. Oh, that is the range of the Billy Nuke on this map. It is incredible how far that thing can go. Essentially, if he stands in the middle of the map, he pretty much can hit almost anything on the map. It is insane, the wide range. Not almost anything. I think it's about like maybe 75, maybe 80%, maybe. But it's a lot of range on that thing. Fat Boy being built by him. And Percy's not the best unit to go after Team 1 spam. Titan's definitely going to be a better choice there, but hey, if it works, well, it's just got to keep those units moving and not hit by the mobile artillery. Western side, couple more Percy's and some SACUs going to hide in the water and to pop up and go say hi to these Authams. And that's pretty much all the Authams from Team 1's Bear. He has to rebuild to T3 land headquarters to be able to produce more of those. And Team 2 in the middle, we have Fat Boy and Dadit, but a lot of AA in the area, and those restorers are just not gonna have a fun time. Gunships in general don't move very quickly, so Flak is a very, very good choice. Granted, you kind of want to mix T3 AA with T2 AA, so you get the AoE damage, and then you get the single fire damage with like the Cougars, for example, where they focus one target. So it's kind of a nice mix of both, which is always, of course, nice to have. But just ripped apart all those gunships. Again, Team 1, I think they own air still. Is it air dominance? 160 to Team 2's. Oh, that's the wrong player. That would help if I clicked on the right player. 117. Yeah, air dominance for Team 1. They are about 50 or so ahead. Team 2 does have a nuke. Team 2's already used the nuke. He's already at 37,000 mass with that first nuke. Good nuke. Good nuke. And Team 1, you building anything crazy nonsense? Go in the background. Nope. Chicken. That looks like about it. Chicken over here. Crab over here. We have 2 crabs, speaking of which inbound. That fat boy not gonna have fun. 3 G... Oh, wow. There's 5 GCs. 2 of them going that way, and 3 of them going that way. Another nuke inbound from Team 2. It's going over here. It looks like something blew up over here, and I think there was an SMD, I thought, at some point, but not anymore, I guess. And it must have been an SACU, because that seems like an SACU explosion. Because, again, 1 player dead here, 1 dead there, and 1 dead here. That must be an SACU. Actually, it could be a Billy Nuke. No. It could be a Billy Nuke, which is going to play very well because it's going to be a 1-2 punch from Team 2. Billy Nuke comes in, wipes out the SMD, and then the actual nuke comes in and wipes out a whole bunch of mass. Oh, man, the E-storage. Boom, that's got to hurt. That's a lot of E-storages that just went, boop. That's all gone. And 2 crabs chasing down a fat boy. Just wants an ice cream sandwich, and those crabs say, no, that's ours. 3 GCs in the middle from Team 2's Liberator. Another Billy Nuke inbound. He's really pumping those things out. He's up to 22,000 mass killed off an SMD, killed off a player with it. It hits right on. Ooh, doesn't help the bomber situation though, but hey, it does take out a chunk of hit points, to be honest. Crab not looking too good. And now we have GCs coming in to assist as well, so if the crabs are dealt with, there's still the 3 GCs to deal with. And again, this is kind of a 1-2 punch from Team 1, a little bit of revenge. And we do have, though, needs to get a transport online. Stop building bombers. Get a transport. Get out of there, because you're not going to survive anytime soon. Fat Boy's still standing there. Probably not the best idea. Need to keep walking it back, and it's gone. Well, that's not going to help. Are those engineering drones? Yes, they are. Building PD as fast as they can. At least try to repair them. Transport needs to be built for him. He's kind of stuck there. Is he getting a transport now? Yes, he is. I think it's a little too late now. Another Billy Nuke inbound to assist. Looks like the Colossi are moving away, but the crabs didn't actually move, so I don't think they maybe got tickled by it or singed by it, but that's about it. Down the middle, we have 1 chicken coming after the fat boy. That's a nice little flank maneuver there, and 2 GCs focusing distracting all the fire of those Percys. Those GCs went this way, didn't go after this base, thinking that Team 1 could just deal with it. Strap Bomber inbound to assist. Or off-kilter's crabs could deal with it. It looks like the chicken's not dealt with, which means that fat boy is DED, or DOA, or something. Some sort of acronym with dead in the name. Oh, does he get the transport? He gets the transport. He builds it. Pick up the comm. Pick up the comm. Pick up the comm. Gotta go. Don't walk to it. No. That's not good. The transport's gonna die. Oh, get out of there. Get on the transport. He's on it. Go. Get out of there. He gets out of there. Ooh, I mean, he loses his base, but he's still in the game. Oof, that was close. I thought that E-storage would have blown up that transport, but I guess not. Ooh, we could land that comm. Oh, looks like he maybe will go somewhere else, I guess. Maybe he's gonna go over here, maybe. I hear an explosion, and off-kilter is killed all off by Liberator. What? Is that a teleportation SACU? Maybe, because there's no way he walked up and said hi. That the placement of that definitely screams teleported sacrifice SACU. That seems a little too... Need to be a lot more dead here, I feel like. Well, that's another kill that I'll have to go back and cover, but that's not great for Team 1. They lose another player here, 36 minutes on the clock. P-Gen blows up. That's not fun. GC staying alive. It's just restore fire shooting at him at this point. The entire base now from off-kilter is pretty much down. The restore is trying to help as much as they can. The GC's down in the red now, but it now is up to 5-star vet. More than paid for itself. Team 2 establishing a frontline base, and Mighty Bear is still there in the corner. Doesn't really have much to his name except for these Othams and a couple of other engineers that are scurrying away. But eastern side is down for Team 2, western side is down for Team 1, and this base is down. This base is starting to recover, SMD being built, and GC wiping out all of the everything that he thinks is valuable in that base. Looks like a couple more Team 1 P-Gens. T3 P-Gen will probably be the only other thing valuable. Looks like a Brick came to say hi, and Brick is not going to have some fun days being crushed to death by the GC. Laser will not be enough to kill off the P-Gen, but does kill off the power that was stored in it. And Crash, everything pretty much is dead in this base. Not a fun day for Team 1's off kilter. And we do see MILLENNIUM lands here, kills off a chicken. So there was a chicken that was inbound from Team 1, because that's definitely a red coating. Yep, there it is. And there's a GC from Team 1 over here. Oh, this is the GCs that went this way. Okay, while everything else was happening, 2 GCs or 3 GCs came to say hi. This GC is dead. And this GC is still alive. Team 2's comm is all the way down here. Look at that. He's up here. He's really hiding up there. Can you get hit from that angle? I'll check on that in a second. And we have a GC now inbound for this nice little Ravager battery that's being built. And again, Mighty Bear going for gun. Probably won't make it out of there, but might be a nice distraction at a bare minimum. We have ASFs cleaning up the air from the gunships, and looks like Team 2 and Team 1 maybe had some air training going down, because I don't see a lot of ASFs remaining. There's still a GC here. Where are those bombers going? Oh, because there's more units inbound. That's what they're dealing with. Well, this one is... Oh, this one's dead now. Okay, I was going to say, why are they not going for that other unit? They're going for the Mega first. Oh, that's a lot of fire. That's it. Got it. Fires on decks, everything. And we have Chicken, who's going to wipe out that Fat Boy. If that Fat Boy doesn't... Actually, that Fat Boy, even if it does move, it probably still will die. Maybe. Team 2's comm of a dude running around the map with the Billy Nuke. I think that's who's launching those Billy Nukes. Restoration field started for Mighty Bear. He's just going to sit there. Does Team 2 know where he is? No, they do see a radar signature, but they don't know what he is. Do not tell me you're going to Billy Nuke that one player. I feel like that's a little... overkill, I think, but another crab is going to die here shortly. That's the one that essentially wiped out this whole corner. T2 Mex is still there. Hey, that's something. Strap Bomber coming to, again, thin out the hit points even more. And that's a lot of dead stuff for both teams. Team 1 lost this base and a chunk of this base, but they're building. Team 2 lost this base and this base. And they did lose a chunk of that base before, but another nuke is inbound, and it's going... northwest. It's going for this base. Is there an SMD? No, there's not, but there's a T3 artillery not in range of the nuke. That's definitely unfortunate. Does Team 2 know of its existence? They do. They didn't go for it. They probably went for the mass extractors is probably what they went for. Oh, please tell me they go after the T3 artillery. Please tell me they go for the T3 artillery with those bombers. Oh, that'd be, I think, entertaining to watch, but no. Looks like they're going... I don't know what they're going for. They're going for something. Because maybe some distraction. Here comes the... Oh, it was shot down. Okay, that SMD was in range. I was going to say... And he's going to build a... quantum gateway right there. Because why not? Bombers are inbound for the SMD here. Oh, if it was only moments before the nuke came into range. But hey, it's down nonetheless. Another SMD is going to be built and then probably immediately loaded. Shield's going to be built to protect it. And I would assume the next nuke is going right there. It looks like some pinging going down for the artillery piece. But the game is quiet for the most part, except the artillery piece from Team 1. Where you see a GC running around the map. Sorry, not GC, Chicken. 40 minutes on the clock. Team 1 has lost 3 players. Off Kilter, Silent Bug, and naturally a Spirit. Team 2 has lost Ogle, making this a 3v5. Eco, about dead even, 1.3 to 1.3. I don't see any movement in that regard. Map control will say... It's not 50-50 because Team 2 owns this position now, I guess. But we'll say 60-40 for now. And we'll see how that shapes up in a couple of minutes. But thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't, because why not at this point, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. More bombers. It's not going to be enough to pierce the shielding, but it will annoy them at a bare minimum. And, the, crash damage. Will it kill off an engineer? No, it will not. Explosion to the northwest. Is that a Billy Nuke? It is a Billy Nuke trying to go after that SMD. It looks like Team 2's aspirations are just wipe out all the SMDs and just nuke everything. Which, hey, it's a very efficient strategy at the bare minimum. Rapid restoration field started for Mighty Bear on his comm. He's still there. He doesn't own anything except a couple of engineers and a Team 1 facility. This looks like he's producing some mobile AA just to help out with the bomber spam from Team 2. Again, the question is, will the nuke fire and land before that SMD is loaded? Which I think the answer to that question, everybody, is yes. I think that is going to happen. Is it already prime? Oh, that is. Again, I keep pushing that caps lock button once in a while. It's just kind of a. It's right next to the shift button, so it's kind of a just a thing. GG SMD down, says Olgo. Oh, the SMDs are down. Ooh, he could go for the air grid. There is a second artillery being built. Ooh. He can only get a chance, I think, on one. Is that a T? Is that does Team 2 have a T3 artillery piece somewhere? Because it looked like they were shot. Oh no, that's from this. That's from this battery over here. Nuke. Oh wait, Nuke's right. Why does it? Oh, it wants to be out of range of this SMD. Oh, it doesn't matter because it's already. Oh no, because about this chunk of it's gonna die, or not be used for anything. Not die, but it's not gonna do anything. So that means the Mouse Mayhem's going to be fine. At least it's calm. Actually, a chunk of his air grid is going to be fine. I thought it'd be right in this circle right here. It's just a perfect, circular indicator of essentially a nuke, but it's going to land to the west of it. Oh, that's so unfortunate. It's going to still kill stuff off, to be fair, but oh, look at all this wasted damage over there. That's unfortunate. And Team 1 immediately starting repairs and going for artillery, not artillery, but SMDs and whatnot. Yeah, the T2 artillery really came in handy for going after those SMDs right there. What's their range, I imagine? They should be enough to maybe reach that other one. Oh yeah, there's enough. Some of them are able to reach that one right there. That might be the next target once Team 2 notices the SMD there. Team 1 has that second artillery piece. It's in the yellows, and it's actually over 50%. And another Nuke lands on top of the shielding, almost depletes its entire capacity there. Actually, it actually looked like it did complete the capacity, or deplete it. Yeah, it's down. Is it down? It's hard to tell with Aeon ones, because they don't shrink like the Seraphim ones do, which I think is kind of a neat feature. And we have GCs inbound and Nuke inbound. That's not going to stop those 4 GCs and 2 chickens, but it's going to definitely hurt a little bit. There goes the Sinjin of the Feetsies. Kaboom, or boom at least. Sinjin's, tons of damage now on those GCs. 10,000 plus damage for each GC that was in range. And another SACU explosion over here. The Calm of Mighty Bear is still there, hanging out. And that chicken is down. Ravagers going after the GCs. They're kind of bottlenecking a little bit. I think their target should be this, which is kind of a miss. But now they're shooting at it, and those Ravagers are probably going to die now. They were going to die anyways, but probably would have lived a little bit longer. We do see, looks like it's kind of split between 2 of them. GC's taking a lot of damage. Another Nuke inbound. I mean, at this point, you might as well just nuke everything that's there. It's going to die one way or the other. But you might as well damage them as much as possible before they have a chance to escape. Singeing their feeties, or at least the backs of their legs a little bit. 44 minutes on the clock. We have another column of units inbound from Team 1's Empire Day. Looks like PD have been built to try to stop their movement, and for the most part, they're fine. Yeah, I don't see any Seraphim tech, so it looks like he did lose it, which is unfortunate, but he could just be keeping the last vestiges of the engineers somewhere. And a couple of Autumns break through the shielding from Team 2, but it's not the worst thing. So, maybe like a shield or 2 dies, but that's about it. Team 2's player of Adu rebuilding his base slowly over there. Some of the air grid was taken out. Nuke is almost reloaded once again. 132,000 mass killed with that nuke, doing very well for itself. And over here, right in front of that GC, that's never fun. And Adu is retreating. We do see Team 2's Butthurt is actually here. He has Team 3 Engineering Suite and Nuke on board, which might explain how many Nukes have been flying over there. SMD range, says Boom King, talking about how far away that SMD is over there. Wants to make sure they can slide on it. I thought I saw somebody teleporting again, and I was gonna say, but I still think that GC had to have been a sacrifice. It doesn't make sense that it would have walked all the way this way and not lasers at the everything else. It just doesn't make sense. And if it was on hold fire, that doesn't make sense at all, especially walking into enemy territory like that. Now the comms are going to sit here, and Nuke right next door. Short travel time. And Ravagers aren't being targeted by GCs? That seems a little weird, to be honest with you. Why are they not firing? There's a GC inbound from Team 2. That one actually would probably be enough with the Ravagers mixed in to actually hold off all three of these, because they're all heavily damaged. This one, 1-star vet. This one, no star vet. That one, going to be at 1-star vet, I would imagine. And PD coming into... That's a lot of PD, to be honest. That's a lot of T2 PD. And there goes that. Veterancy? No veterancy yet. Another nuke inbound from Team 2. It's going to this position. SMDs have already been built. Oh, this one might be loaded in time. This one is loaded. There's 2 artillery pieces now. A third one under construction. They're building some power generators to assist with the reloading or the recharging, depending on if it's a reloading of shells or recharging of the, actual plasma for the emissary. And yep, there it is. SMD was in range and shot down. Purple nuke with me. Wait. No, that's not going to help. Wipes out most of those engineers there from Team 1's Empire Day. Team 2, we see a lot. Oh, that's a lot of Percy. That is a charge. That's a lot of charges of Percy's. That's why sometimes I wish that that talent one for Percy's, because that's a couple of pallets for sure. Some Percy's just stacking those things up on top of one another and saran wrapping them and making sure that they're all secured, ready for transport. But anyway, it's I'd say what, 6 charges. Oh, 72. Yep, 74. So 12 times 6, 72. Yep, there it is. Ooh, shielding starting to break for Team 2. 2 emissaries is a lot of damage to deal with all at once. And they're coming in one after the other, pretty gosh darn close to one another. So that is that's a oofta for me. Those emissaries are annoying to deal with. And you start stacking them up. Yep, shield is down. Got to build more of them. Got to build more of them. I'm surprised Team 1, he's having a freak out. Team 1 isn't. They don't know where the nuke is. Okay, well, probably do more. I mean, spy plane, and they could easily just go this way, and they'd easily see it. Actually, you can just do this, pretty much, and you would see it. So, kind of surprised no spy planing going down from Team 1, at least more of it. And there goes an explosion. Team 1's player of Mighty Bear defeated by Adu. Looks like it was some Percy's and Bowie nukes. I mean, he was in the corner of the map. There really wasn't much that he could have done. He's kind of just stuck there. If he walked out, he would have died. Maybe he could have tried to escape with the GCs, but maybe. But he would have no base. He'd have nothing. He'd kind of just be there. But Team 2 launching an all-out assault on Team 1's main base. We do see Nuke icon for Billy Nuke is inbound. And Team 2 needs to kind of shift a little bit more westward. We have a GC here. We have a GC here. We have 2 Megalas here. We have tickle cannons to the east. We have, again, tons of Percy's inbound. Billy Nuke impacts the shields, wipes out some engineers, I believe. We have restorers inbound. That chicken's going to die here shortly. GC's main goal, of course, is the artillery pieces. That is the main goal of those things. But there's a lot of firepower from Team 2. And a lot of those forces are being... You got to keep them moving. Got to keep those things moving. GC is down. And that's going to crush a couple of those Percy's from Team 2. ASF's come in and clean out the gunships from Team 1. And actually, a lot of those GCs, a lot of those Percy's are now dead. There's not that much remaining. Team 2's frontal assault is denied, and the air assault is also denied. So Team 1 wins air and kills a ton of land units. That's a lot of reclaim for Team 1 to just scoop up right there. I haven't talked about reclaim in a long while. Currently sitting at 600,000 for Team 2 and almost 500,000 for Team 1. So over 1 million mass reclaimed, and we're at 49 minutes on the clock. And that is a lot. That's a lot of mass. How much is on the map total, I should say? Oh, just another 300,000. So we're sitting at almost 1.5 million mass, either reclaimed or could be reclaimed. No SMD. Nuke, says Ogle. Yeah, there's no nuke. There is, sorry, no SMD. There is a Billy Nuke. There's an SMD there. And you have to watch out for, of course, the curve that comes in with the nuke. So essentially, you might want to nuke it right there and maybe pack it off to right there. I don't know if you would singe it or get it close enough. I mean, you might be able to get this one of those, maybe. You wouldn't get the emissary back there, though. There's 3 of them online for Team 1. They're really hunkering down there. SMD Rain says this. I mean, yeah, GG says Mighty Bear, maybe he's leaving. At least leaving the chat, I guess. We have more GCs being built. Of course, Percy's, and more Percy's for Team 2. And there's 3 shots inbound. That's a lot of firepower to deter. Team 2 has their own artillery piece online. That's good to see. And that shielding is down, and it is not looking good for Team 2's air/nuke/artillery base. Nuke is inbound. He is going to try to edge nuke it there. Again, the only worry is it goes this way, and then it curves a little bit, and that curve might clip into that SMD range and might not be good. We have just... They're not going to stop. They're launching Billy Nuke after Billy Nuke after. They're just not stopping. Just wipe everything else out. We have tons of volcanoes in the way. There goes a Billy Nuke right there. Here comes the nuke. Does it clip it? Oh, it doesn't. Another Billy Nuke lands. And let's see if it clips into these emissaries. Boom. It doesn't clip the emissaries, but it does take out all of the shielding, which does allow the artillery piece for Team 2 to come say hi. Or, you know, there's that FAF board that's slowly moving in. Team 2, how's your artillery piece doing? Not good. Shielding's not doing great, and unless he gets a really nice couple of shots, which it looks like it's not going to because the shielding for the artillery is back online, is not looking good for that air grid / everything else grid for Team 2 up here on this plateau. They're struggling, but they're keeping the shields. You know, it's on, off, but they're relatively staying online. Tons more Ravagers here for Team 2's Butthurt. And Percy's mixed in as well. Love to see them. That Percy having some fun time being grabbed and vacuumed up. He's going to get crushed a little bit. That's unfortunate for him. And he actually does get crushed by that GC crash damage. And those Ravagers with the Percys will be enough to kill off the GCs. Again, looks like the GC's targeting the SACUs, and it's just going to be spamming of Ravagers and whatnot. Again, they have to maybe lock off this position, which, again, even if they put stuff here, it isn't a good position to be in as the units go that way. Would be better to actually put them essentially just along this line right here. You might maybe just stop, you know, right to this line because those might be out of range, but they would shoot into the units going this way. And then that would kind of pull the GCs away a little bit. Another Billy Nuke lands. Team 2's not stopping with those. Both Butthurt and Adu. Again, Adu's base, it's better. It's not great, but it's better. Team 2's artillery still online somehow. Has 2-star veterancy, I will note. And Nuke is at 170,000+. So, again, Nuke's going... That's very good for a nuke launcher. Speaking of nuke launchers, we don't have 1. We don't have 2. We have 3 Apocalypse nuke launchers. He's just lining up for the Apocalypse, I guess. Over there, there's a lot of firepower waiting to happen. Is he going to load them? Like, is he going to actively or passively load them? I don't know. We'll see. How's his eco doing? He's getting... his power's fine. It wasn't great for a second, but it's fine now. And, of course, it is a 2v5 in favor of Team 1. Team 1 still has a chance to win this game. What is the dotted line? And Olgel, I will note, he's the one writing all that stuff. He's still in the game. So I like to see those players still in the game, even though they have been eliminated for quite some time. And, it does singe a lot of these SACUs. And it's just not stopping. And I'm surprised there isn't more TMDs, but... You know, they're trying to stay out of range. We have a Crab from Team 1 completely outflanking some Percys. That's never fun. And it's just kind of a sandwiching going on there. We have another Megalith there. And we naval facilities here. Another Billy Nuke lands wipes out a ton of SACUs. So both Adu and Butthurt getting tons of mass killed with they're over 100,000 total. They're closing in on the amount of mass killed by the nuke from Team 2. They're closing in on that number. And granted, they can fire faster than the nuke, but the nuke does more damage, so it's kind of again, a Titan versus a Percy situation. To use that example. You can fire faster, you don't do as much damage per shot, but you can also have the fire not as often, but do a lot of damage per shot. But maybe that shot is blocked. And the same with the TMD, can block the Bowie nukes, but you know. We have reclaiming. Team 1, 513,000. Team 2, 770,000. We're 1.2 million mass reclaimed. We're at 4.4 and 3.8 million mass accrued. We're over 8 million mass accrued, and 1.2 million of it is just reclaim. That is a lot of reclaim. That's a 13+% reclaim, which is, again, a lot considering. It is a lot. Granted, the map did start off with a lot, so that kind of inflates the numbers just a smidgen. Another crab is dead. So much stuff dead on this map, and they won't stop. It's down to 267, down to 270 something. So not too bad in terms of how much mass is still on the map to scoop up, but there's still a lot. Team 1 building T2 artillery to deal with this nonsense over here from Team 2. Essentially, what's happened over here, just over there, and those shots, where are they coming from? Oh, they're coming from here, excuse me. That's just more TMD. Team 1's, I think, kind of fed up with the Billy Dukes at this point. I feel them there. I mean, in their position, that would definitely be annoying after, not after a while, after like the second one. Another nuke inbound from Team 2. Has he been the only one launching nukes? Any of these nukes launched or loaded for Team 1? Nope. Nope. And nope. But they're all kind of close. He could try to overwhelm defenses with just launching 3 nukes at the same time, which maybe that's a strategy. Who knows? Looks like the northeastern side's being targeted. And, I mean, that's more mass killed, so that's something. It's more mechs is dead, so less mass that he has available to him. Another crab was being built here. He clipped 6 of them that time, so, again, 27 times 6. That's 25 times 6 is 150, plus an additional 2 times 6, 172. Sorry, 162 mass killed. Did I do that math right? Yes, I did do that math right. Yes. And that's a lot of mass. Team 2 is now at 2k mass. Team 1's at 1.5. I feel like that may reclaim. Is that authentic mass or is that reclaim added? That might be reclaim added. I feel like they didn't jump that quickly when I last talked about them. 2 GCs are down for Team 1. And another chicken down for Team 1 as well. It is not looking good overall for land situation. Team 1 keeps essentially feeding the horde hand with all of the mass in the middle of the map. Artillery is still being traded, but it looks like 2 of them offline. Maybe all the bombardment from Team 2 with the Bowie nukes and whatnot thinned out the shielding enough. But that's unfortunate for Team 1. They're down to 1 from the 3 that they had. Nuke is inbound. Actually, outbound from Team 1 for the first time. Oh, is it going for the land units? Ooh, that's going to hurt that Fat Boy. That's what that's going to do. And the GC, the chicken is killing that off. Wipes out Fat Boy and all that other stuff. Fat Boy avoids the Ion Storm. And another nuke was inbound, I thought, from Team 1. Oh, it's going over here. And wipes out that facility. Hey, a couple of SACUs survive, but some of them don't. Billy here says Otto, talking about the SMD that they want to target. Fat Boy stole the inbound. GC coming up to assist. It's act as the front man. Another nuke inbound from Team 1. Is it a point defense nuke? I think it is a point defense nuke. Sort of. It's going after that Fat Boy. The emissary is down. Billy nuke lands on the shielding. And we saw one over here landing on this shielding over here. Almost clips that nuke. And all it has to do is turn and go after this SMD. There's one there. That's loaded. One there. That's loaded. 58 minutes on the clock. A nuke lands, kills off the Fat Boy. Wipes that one out. And GC is going to wipe out that SMD there. And there's 2 SMDs up here on the upper plateau. Just the Billy nukes and the nukes and the everything from now both teams, technically, because Team 1's now launching their own nukes. We have a GC going after GCs being built. And we have a chicken going to get double teamed by... No, just ignore that chicken? Okay, well that GC's going to die, so... Oh, okay, too late. You're going to go after the... Oh, PGen's shield's back online. Well, that's not going to work. Another Billy nuke inbound. And Team 1's losing territory. Again, they're not necessarily just out of this yet, but mass generated per second, reclaim, not necessarily a big factor, but it does help. Map control, all the mechs is being down over there. it's not looking good. There's still some room to recover, but there might just be one of those overwhelming odds kind of thing. It's almost semi-turned into a survival map at this point for Team 1. Another SSU dead. Another Billy Nuke's going to land. Again, the defenses are slowly being eradicated, so all those TMD, all of the shielding is just slowly going down. And we have SSUs and Harbingers wiping out the remaining base here. But you see Empire Day underneath the shielding. Looks like he's going to be the next target. And Billy Nuke's going to land. Kills off a pigeon. That helps kind of, again, pierce the underneath the shielding thing. And it's going to be left with that upper plateau from Team 1. Again, like I said, he's not out of this just yet, but still, it's grim. It's grim for Team 1. Especially with the 5-2 advantage for Team 2. And Empire Day. His shield is down. Percy's have to move in a smidgen more. There he goes. Team 1's Empire Day is eliminated by Percy's. And Harbingers from Team 2's Liberator. And Liberator is producing a lot of GCs. He's really helping out with all those GCs. Epic says Butthurt. Yes, it is. It is a lot of stuff. Not a lot of big ticket items like game enders and stuff, but, you know, it is nice to see, you know, not every game devolves into, oh, look, there's a salvation. Well, that's not game. It's game ender adjacent. But I don't classify one salvation as a game ender. Maybe if you had a Paragon and built like 6 of them, then that's a different story. 6 Paragons or 6 salvations, either or would work, but I prefer maybe both. Anyway, but it is nice to have games that aren't always, okay, just build game ender and call it a day. That's who wins. You know, first person who builds it. But definitely a lot of back and forth. Lots of good moves by both teams. We had, you know, Team 1's Naturally Spirit over here just annoying Aldo for the longest time. He eventually got the kill on Naturally Spirit, but he lost his base a little bit after that. Then Nuke lands, UEF doing UEF things. Did he need the satellite? No. It was nice to have, yes. This base being wiped out, all the PGens, all the mass fabs, all the everything else. All that's being gone. How's his eco doing? How's his power doing for the most part? Oh, it's staying positive for the most part. Another nuke inbound from Team 2. Actually, that's Team 1's nuke. Never mind. That's a lot of dead. Oh, don't be mean to the engineers. Not at this point. We have to get to... Oh, we're okay. We're at 1.5 million mass. Never mind. Never mind. Not that you say you could just kill off all the engineers, but, you know, it's not as important. Come on. That's a lot of dead engineers. And we have 1 nuke down, 1 nuke remaining. So 2 nukes remaining. Is he just launching all the nukes he can? Is that a nuke from Team 2? No, it's a nuke from Team 1. It just blends in with all of the stuff up there. Artillery landing in from, well, Team 2's Boom King's artillery. Oh, please. Oh, I almost hit the satellite. Oh, kaboom. And that, I know that's upper plateau. Kind of hard to shoot upward for the most part. Laser gets some distance on that GC. Another nuke in. He's not stopping now. He's just let it loose. I guess he knows when the game is pretty much over, might as well let loose all the nukes. Teleport started for Otto. Is he going to telebilly, or at least try to telebilly before the game's over? Nuke inbound from Team 2. There's 1 SMD remaining. And lasers are focused. Oh, shield comes back online. Kaboom! Hey, create a nice little breathing room for himself. There's that. And if the Fat Boys act fast enough, they might be able to take out that SMD before it denies the nuke. Maybe. And we have an air fight. And that's it for the air fight. GG, well played from both of the air players. SMD is still alive. It's going to shoot that. Oh, nope. He died to legitimate Control K. There wasn't a PGen nearby or anything, but that is the last player from Team 1 to be eliminated. A little bit of a delay in the victory there, but Team 2 wins it. 1 hour, 2 minutes, 42 seconds on the clock. Team 2 wins the game. And that was a long game, but it was a good game nonetheless. We had lots of action again, and it helps that it was a 10x10 map, so it was, you can imagine a 20x20 map by just all the action, maybe not necessarily expanded a little bit longer, but just it's hyper condensed because you just got a short amount of travel time to get to the other side of the map. We had raiding on both sides. We had Team 2 operating a base over here. We had attacks down this way, wiping out chunks of bases for Team 2 down that way. We had artillery almost piercing the shield for that artillery piece, barely kept online. And I do think Boom King's upper plateau definitely played a huge role, not only just the air, of course, but just the fact that, he has a nuke. That was really helpful. Up to 200,000 mass killed in the artillery piece definitely came in. But I think a large section of the game was all the land units. So both Team Two's Noble Bang and Liberator. Liberator was just, I think, pumping out GCs. He would not stop with the GCs. It was nuts to see how many of them he produced. And same thing for Mass or Mouse. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Pumping out all the GCs as well. Just tons of back and forth. But it just came down, I think, partially due to the APM, partially due, of course, to the eco eventually. But it was a great game nonetheless. And it's hard to pick who really did the most for Team Two. Oh, look, an artillery piece over here. The second one under construction. But, anyway, it's there. It's nice to have. And satellite. But it's just, the Billy Nukes, just the everything. I just think everybody on Team 2 did a very good job. So let me know down in the comments who you would pick for MVP. Thanks so much for watching to the very end of the video and all my ramblings and whatnot. And I will see all of you in the next one.